Hello everybody, I am AMH, and today we are playing Doki Doki Literature Club. And so therefore, I will have Just Monika stuck in my head for the next 2 weeks, and it's going to be everybody's problem. She's obsessed, and she's stressed, and she's feeling blue, and I don't see you hanging around you. I didn't transfer the thing back to my headphones. There we go. Never did I think this was going to be my life, but that's okay. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me in the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori. And I don't want Sayori hanging around you. My neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. That's me. I'd be like, alright, bye. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just saw an idol in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again! But I got you this time! Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. I didn't realize I was saying this. Ew, you say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. Now I understand why the song was like, Sayori. I mean, that's mean, AMH. Yes, it is. I am mean. Thank you for noticing. Well, people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you didn't have it in you to be mean even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. Yeah, whatever you say. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, AMH, have you decided on a club to join yet? Club? I got a club for you! I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? Did I? I'm sure it's possible I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. I didn't realize this character was actually going to be me. Oops. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I didn't expect this game to be me. I feel like Doki Doki Literature Club is reading my data now. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. That's just mean, Sayori. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. What does that mean? You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? I don't know why I'm doing that voice for Sayori, but it feels right. Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yeah! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. I'm not gonna lie, the soundtrack though be bumping. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Damn. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello, Sayori. Sayori must come to the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting in here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you so late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first person to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. El Presidente. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I contacted the club yesterday. I would bring in a new member. And Nasuki, Nasuki, I said Aki. Nasuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. Hello, long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I would absolutely sell my soul for certain cupcakes. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, the section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I said Sayori, not Siri. Get out of here. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Bold of you to assume my gender. Brought a boy. Way to kill the atmosphere. Aw, AMH, what a surprise! Nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Ah! What are you looking at? And did you have to bring a boy? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly in my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri. Oh, wow. This is Yuri, the smartest girl in the club. The smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mild and mature, not mild, tender and mild, like a chicken nugget. More mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet the both of you. And it sounds like you already know who Monika is. You already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, AMH. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, AMH. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. And how about you? How about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray, and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Oh, that's cute. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs it first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full, and Aria has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting me for... I will get it together where I can read one day, and today is not it, and I keep picking days where I have to read! She waiting for me to take a bite. I finally bite down. Icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for, you know, you, dummy. Alright. I give on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. Carefully, she places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Personally, no, but sure. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You should probably be a board member. You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate team last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around major club. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika's a really great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. And I'm surprised that there aren't more people in the club yet. Damn! Must be hard to start a new club. You can put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all the effort into to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really blow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have really worked hard to find just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're also delighted at the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, AMH, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Okay, now that's a lie. I read a lot. Manga? I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces a rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Yikes. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you through a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Me too, girl. Me fucking too. Also, can I just say on the note that I don't know what you would classify like the Odd Thomas series? No, I mean series. By Dean Koontz. But I would not classify that as horror, but it's always right next to Stephen King, and I'm like, what? What? But you know, whatever. What do I know? I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped at something I can relate to at the minimal level. I read it in like a week. I think that's pretty impressive. That's like 1,300 pages. Pretty good. Much better than movies. I suggest you read it if you like horror. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, even if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes darted over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind at the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. Don't! Arrgh! And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything about you is just as cute as you are. Siri, Sidles? Siri, shut up. I'm saying Sayori. Get it together. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? Me too. I understand. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for you, Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay! I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah! Yeah! Let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think we'll help all of us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. We're a cult now. Isn't that right, AMH? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, AMH, you all, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes lit up. Yes, I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official! Welcome to the literature club! Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment, write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. AMH, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. And I really impressed the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, AMH, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of these girls. And make one of them my wife! Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. So I can find my wife! It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think were the girls. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good will happen with whoever most likes your poem. Imagination. Tenacious. I don't know what that word means. Peaceful. Essence. Twirl. Destiny. I don't know how this works. Fantasy. Waterfall. Extraordinary. Depression. We're gonna go light on this first one. Cheer. Rainbow. Journey. Precious. Heaven sent. Philosophy. Pleasure. Oh, pain! Pleasure and pain, pain and pleasure. I like pleasure sports with pain and music is my aeroplane. I'm gonna get copyrighted by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Wonderful. Vitality. Vitality. Va-va-va-va-va-va-boom. Climax. Heartbeat. Suicide. No. Sweet. I don't know what I just did. Hi again, AMH. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everybody was already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, AMH. Hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me that you don't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Damn, Natsuki. Alright. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature. Amen. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plots back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. AMH always gives it his best, and as long as he's having fun. I am having a blast. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. Siri, quit. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come you and AMH can become good friends too? Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, You know. Wait, Sayori, me? Oh, not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah. I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we, us, and we could, discuss it if you want it. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? How? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she is waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad from distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance, and our eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... Oh, that's not what I meant. I mean... Fuck! I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. We know what it is. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What is it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front of the cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she goes to do so, her life gets very strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. Okay. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationship, and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? You made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, AMH? I am absolutely a fucking fan of that shit. No, it's not like that. I don't know what I'm dragging with my blanket, but it's fine. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. Don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be naive for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. She's just like, ah, shit, I rambled. God, this happens every fucking time. I ramble a lot. That's why I decided to make YouTube videos, because I like to listen to myself talk and ramble for hours at a time. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books or writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. I got a point. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What do you say? What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put in my bag. Alright, if it's fine if I sit here, right? I slipped into the seat next to Yuri's. Ah! Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. Okay. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. Alright! Open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do too. I do? I really don't mean to. Sorry. Up. There it is. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. Ah. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess it kind of makes it difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. I'm getting a boner! I'm getting a lit dick from this. Oh no. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a little distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it at my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flitter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. You remain silent for a moment, but AMH, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't really know you were so conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I meant more of it's kind of cute. Uh, uh, um, uh, so why are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. Oh, it's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close the top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have to be too much of a I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright! I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it into my bag. Ooh. My date is messing up here. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. But now that everybody's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet. Siri, quit! It's on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf paper torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in the composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Do I actually get your... who should I show my... Let's go Sayori. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend, after all. Can I actually read the poem? This is a good poem, Major. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. I'm just not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? Spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy you just wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact I'm standing in front of you in the classroom. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, AMH. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way that you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It is a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until morning to write this? No! Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it like it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I skip breakfast all the time. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Or do I? Let's go ahead and go Natsuki. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions, so basically it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh! Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can see, cheeses can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it! Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard, like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I said for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess I went more into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I didn't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, let's go Yuri next. Yuri! As Yuri reads a poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yuri covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. It's actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I feel bad. I just met, Yuri turns off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I had learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and then they form fit the two together. And the result is usually both that the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's almost as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different writing skills and techniques that go into rewriting even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and by learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in this club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. This must be the one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air in the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking about that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is very pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Ooh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, mate. Really? Must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering her last remembering place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so, nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, AMH. Me too. What? Monika, get your bitch ass over here. Hi, AMH. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. Me as fuck! I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, AMH, we're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's the sort of barrier we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, AMH. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure you'll end up trying different things a lot. Golly. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I always help you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself into writing the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's just because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Why is it so long? Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. A peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel. Blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of a meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It wasn't too deep. Stretching further into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. What? So what'd you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you want to call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the time between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had an epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. And another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a dark puddle of ink. Big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Why did that sound like a podcast? Thanks for listening! Monika out. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. It was a bit more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way that my poems can stand up to theirs. This is the literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes landed on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each other's expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrow furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean that you had to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and AMH did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change it anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And AMH liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh! I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that AMH appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose booze magically grew a size bigger as soon as AMH started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, you guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they noticed I was just standing there. AMH! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could give over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems so convoluted for no reason? The meaning should just jump out of the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, AMH. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. That's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only necessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, AMH? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Uro and Yuri! Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait! That's not an excuse for me to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri. You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting their feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took that too far. Yuri means well, but if you just tell her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think that you should too? Natsuki clenches her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, and at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk to clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches up her own poem from the desk and storms out. Bye! On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki. She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri! How could anyone who... No, I have gotten frustrated after being treated like that. I'm just saying this to spare your feelings. You were obviously a bitch in that situation too. You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, AMH. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said, but you know, I would never do anything so shameful. So, What thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for one person, okay? More than one person. Yeah. Okay, everyone, that's about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. AMH, what about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe you learned something from your friends, too. So, your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself. I did learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those that I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. AMH, ready to go walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. Siri quit. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. You know, Mitch. It's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun! Sigh! It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay! Yeah, let's do this. Alright, we're gonna save here. And that is actually where we're going to call it today, because that's all the time that I have. But, thank you for joining me in this first part of Doki Doki Literature Club. Don't mind me if I start randomly singing lines from Just Monika, because that's going to be stuck in my head. When I got up earlier, I was already singing it to myself. Just doing the have a freaking cupcake. Anyway, so far, interesting. I'm actually very, very interested to see, like, kind of where the unsettling element comes in, but I can definitely see it coming, for sure. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. That's all the time I have for today, and until next time, Anna out.